Take a deep breath. Allow this moment to reach your heart. You are not here by chance. I brought you to this place because I have something very important to tell you. I saw everything you've been through so far. The nights you cried in silence, the days you carried weights that no one imagined. I was there. While everyone saw your smile on the outside, I saw the battle going on inside. While the world said it was drama, that it was exaggeration, I contemplated the effort you made just to continue. I saw you trying to hide the pain so as not to worry anyone. I saw you trying to be strong for everyone, when you just wanted someone to say that everything is going to be okay. And that's what I came to tell you now, everything is going to be okay. Because I am here. I never abandoned you, even when you thought you were alone. I never left you aside, even when you thought no one else cared about you. I didn't just see you. I felt with you. Every tear that fell from your face, I counted. Every tired sigh, I heard. And every prayer you said, even without words, reached my heart. Many don't know, but there are days when you wake up tired before you even get out of bed. Anguish hits before the sun rises. Anxiety invades before you even open your eyes. And yet, you follow. Even without strength, you get up. Even without understanding, you continue. I know that. Because it was I who supported you until now. It was not his merits, nor his ability. It was my hand that held you when everything seemed to fall apart. And today I want you to understand one thing, there is a purpose in everything you have lived. Nothing was in vain. No tears fell by chance. No silence of mine was carelessness. Everything, absolutely everything, had a reason. You may not understand now, but you will understand. Within 2 months you will see that nothing has been lost. What seems like pain today, tomorrow will be testimony. What weighs heavy on your chest today will be proof that I was with you the whole time. Do you know that feeling of fighting alone? Feeling like no one really understands you? I know. I saw you trying to explain, trying to ask for help, but receiving only judgments. And even with all this, you didn't give up. Even without answers, you continued to seek me. This touched my heart. Do you think I didn't see when you prayed that you couldn't take it anymore, but still ended up saying, "Thy will be done"? I saw. And it was at that moment that I decided, I will honor you. I will show that it was worth continuing to trust. Your story does not end in the chapter of pain. I have a new page prepared for you. And that is why I brought you here today. Because the time has come to start over. The time has come to heal what has been hurt, restore what has been broken, lift what has fallen. I am the God who transforms the desert into a garden. I am the God who brings life where there was only dust. And that's what I'll do to you. But before all this happens, you need to believe that I am speaking to you now. That this word is not generic, it is not for others, it is yours. It was written for your heart. Because I see you. I know you. And I chose you. Even with the failures, with the fears, with the doubts. I chose you because I see beyond what others see. I see the sincere heart, the desire to get it right, the desire not to give up. And that's enough for me. Today, I want you to declare in faith, I believe this word is for me. Comment on this now. Declare with courage. No matter who sees it, it matters that you recognize that it is me speaking to you. This simple act of faith activates something in the spiritual world. When you position yourself, the sky moves. When you declare in faith, the heavens open. Nothing is too small when it is done with a sincere heart. And I honor the hearts that open to hear my voice. So don't fight what you feel anymore. Don't try to hide your pain anymore. Surrender everything to me. I already know every part of what you experience, but I want to hear from your mouth, Father, I need you. Because when you call me, I answer. When you seek me, I show myself. And when you surrender, I transform. Starting today, get ready. You will not leave this place as you entered. Something new started to move. And in a short time, you will see with your own eyes what you prayed for so much in silence. Take a deep breath. Allow this moment to reach your heart. You thought the silence was a sign of my absence, but what you didn't know is that in the time I silenced my voice, I was setting the stage for something much bigger than you imagined. While you thought nothing was happening, I was working on details that you can't yet see. You felt like your prayers were hitting the ceiling, that your words were lost in the air, that your faith was in vain. But today I tell you, not a single word was lost. Not a single tear fell without me seeing it. No pain went unnoticed. I was there, all the time, even when it seemed like I had left you. You prayed with a heavy heart, with eyes full of tears, unable to form complete sentences. You only managed to say, "Help me, give me strength," and that was enough. Because I don't need perfect speeches, I just need a sincere heart. And your heart was always sincere before me. Even in the midst of doubts, even when you thought I had forgotten about you, you kept coming back. Even though you were hurt, you continued talking to me. And that is why now, in this moment, I am opening the heavens to respond. I saw you fighting thoughts that wanted to make you give up. The enemy tried to whisper that you were praying for nothing, that nothing would change, that I didn't care. But he is a liar. It always was. Because from the first day you cried out, I was already moving things in your favor. Some answers I held back, not because I didn't want to give you, but because I love you too much to deliver before the right time. What you saw as delay, I saw as protection. What seemed like silence was care. Many around him did not understand his struggle. Some even judged their faith. And you tried to explain, you tried to open your heart, but no one could understand. And deep down, you were silent. You kept the pain away and continued in silence, thinking it was invisible. But I saw you. I know every corner of your heart, every fear you didn't tell anyone, every doubt you carried alone. I saw the days when you wanted to disappear. I was by your side when you looked at the sky and could only cry. And now I want you to know, this is all going to make sense. No tears were wasted. No time was wasted. The process you went through was not punishment, it was preparation. I was shaping your character, strengthening your faith, healing old wounds that you no longer remember. And all of this is about to blossom. You will no longer be the same. Within 2 months, your life will be unrecognizable. And when you look back, you will understand why everything happened the way it did. The time you spent in silence was a time of roots. While no one saw, I made you grow inside. And now the time has come to bear fruit. The time has come to leave the cave, to raise your head, to breathe a sigh of relief and feel hope springing up in your chest again. That pain that seemed to never go away, that emptiness that accompanied you inside, is now being ripped away. Because where I am, sadness does not remain. Wherever I arrive, the light dispels all darkness. I know sometimes it's hard to believe there is still a purpose. I know that tiredness made you think you had no strength left. But you resisted. And whoever resists with faith receives a reward. The sky is moving in your favor. People you can't even imagine are being directed by me to bless your life. Doors are being prepared. Opportunities are being adjusted. I have already started to release what you have been waiting for so long. And do you know what I want from you now? May you share this word with those who need to hear it. There is someone next to you, silent, crying inside, like you cried. And this message will be the sign that I am also hearing his cry. Share now. Be a channel of my voice in someone's life. Just as I reached you, I want to reach others through you. You have no idea how many people are going through what you went through. And the simple act of sharing can be the answer to someone's prayer. This word is not just about you, it is about healing, liberation and starting over. It's about multiplying what you are receiving now. It's about making sense of your pain and allowing others to find hope too. Today, you are being healed. Today, you are being lifted up. Today, I put a new shine in your eyes and a new fire in your heart. You are not alone. You never were. Believe me, a time of harvest, of lightness, of peace and fullness is beginning. And this is not the end. It's just the beginning of something bigger than you imagined. It wasn't luck. It wasn't chance. It was my hand. Take a deep breath. Allow this moment to reach your heart. You may not even realize it now, but you are living at the end of a cycle. What once seemed to have no end is about to come to an end. The time of pain is giving way to the time of promise. And it's not an exaggeration, it's not an illusion. It's a compliment. Because I don't lie. And everything that came out of my mouth, sooner or later, comes true. Your story will change, and it will change before your eyes. The pain that weighs on your chest today will be living proof that I am still the God who transforms crying into dancing. I know there are days when everything seems the same, when nothing changes and the tiredness only increases. You wonder when this will all end. You wonder if you're really on the right path. And in silence, you think about giving up. But I came to tell you that you are closer than you imagine. You are one step away from seeing what I have prepared. You are just a moment away from the miracle you have been waiting for. I didn't bring you here to watch you fall. I have brought you here to show my faithfulness. Do you think it was lucky that you ended up in this video? That it was just another beautiful message among so many others? No. It was an answer. It was taken care of. It was divine intervention. I moved time, algorithms, and circumstances just to reach you in this moment. Because you needed to hear this. Because your heart was about to close, and I didn't let it. You are too valuable to be left by the wayside. And that is why I have come to meet you now. What distresses you today will be a testimony. What hurts today will be what will make you stronger. Everything you thought was the end, I will transform into a new beginning. There are people who looked at you and thought you were a failure. There are people who judged you for the phases you went through. But what they don't know is that I was working while you were crying. I was writing the next page while you thought everything had stopped. And now it's time to turn that page. Within 2 months, you will understand why it hurts so much. You will look back and be moved, not with pain, but with gratitude. Because I specialize in changing stories. I am the God who rewrites destinies. And everything that seemed lost, I will restore with my own hands. You will no longer be remembered for what you lost, but for what you overcame. You will no longer carry the weight of pain in your chest, but the lightness of victory. The doors that have closed, I will open them myself. The opportunities you thought you missed, I will bring back myself, in an even better way. And all of this will not be due to human effort. It will be for grace. Because when I decide to honor someone, there is nothing and no one that can stop me. I don't look at appearance, at titles, at recognition. I look at the heart. And yours has pleased me, even in the midst of failures and weaknesses. So, continue with an open heart. Don't close yourself off again. Don't let yesterday's pain stop you from today's healing. You are not alone. And it never was. My spirit has surrounded you, even in moments when you felt nothing. Your faith has reached me. And because of this faith, extraordinary things will happen. You will not only see changes around you, but also within you. Peace will return to where there was only anxiety. Hope will grow where there was only fear before. And I want to ask you something now. If this word spoke to you, like this video and subscribe to the channel. This isn't just for numbers. It's so that you continue to receive words that touch your heart directly, exactly when you need them most. By liking and subscribing, you allow more people to be reached, just like you were now. There is someone right now asking for a sign. And a message like this could be the answer heaven will use. You have no idea how many hearts are crying out like you did. And your every gesture of faith, even a click, becomes a bridge for others to also find relief, direction, and renewal. You are part of what I am doing. And it's not a video, but a move. I am raising up ordinary people with sincere hearts to spread my voice far and wide. Now, take a deep breath. I know you feel something different inside you. And do you know what that is? It's the beginning of a new season. It is the presence of my spirit embracing you from within. It's the weight going away. It's relief coming. It is the certainty that I am with you. And nothing, absolutely nothing, was in vain. Take a deep breath. Allow this moment to reach your heart. You thought my silence was a sign of forgetfulness. That the delay in responding to you was proof that I didn't care. But the truth is, while you were wondering where I was closer than ever. Working on details you can't yet see. Preparing paths where there was no ground. Moving pieces, hearts, and circumstances so that everything cooperates with the perfect plan that I wrote for your life. Not all silence is absence. Not all waiting is punishment. There are silences that heal. You wait for them to build. Processes that strengthen. And I allowed you to go through this time not to destroy you, but to mature you. I needed you to learn to trust even when you didn't see it. To continue even when I didn't feel it. To follow me even without understanding. Because true faith is not just fed by promises, but by deep trust in my character. You weren't being ignored. On the contrary, your every cry was listened to with attention. Every prayer whispered between tears was welcomed in heaven. I didn't turn my face away. I didn't close my ears. I was there, watching you grow. Because there are things that only silence reveals. There are dependencies that only emptiness can break. There are levels of faith that are only activated when everything seems to be at a standstill. While you thought you were on pause, I was aligning you with my timing. While you thought nothing was moving, I was organizing everything. You asked for an answer, and I prepared transformation. You wanted a way out, and I was building a new path. You just wanted comfort, and I was preparing a testimony. So don't let your senses fool you. They lie. But my word stands. Have you ever noticed that, in the moments when you thought you couldn't handle it, something inside you just resisted? You didn't fall. You didn't fall apart. And this didn't happen by chance. It was my hand. It was my strength sustaining you from within. I empowered you in silence. And now, everything that was sown in darkness will begin to blossom in the light of day. What no one saw will be revealed. And many will wonder how you did it. And you will know, it was God. It was me. This time of silence was not empty. It was fertile. I planted dreams, established roots, healed wounds that you had already accepted as eternal. I traded weight for purpose. And now, little by little, you will start to see the signs. Small doors that open. Connections that come out of nowhere. A lightness that wasn't there before. A rest that does not come from circumstances, but from the certainty that I am with you. Don't worry about those who don't understand your process. Don't wait for applause to validate what you've experienced. Human eyes see appearance. I see essence. And what I am building in you will be solid, eternal, and unshakable. Because whoever is shaped in secret is sustained in public. And you will be living proof that you are worth trusting even when everything seems silent. You will look back and be grateful you didn't give up. You will realize that, even without realizing it, you were being carried by me. No day was wasted. No tears were ignored. What seemed like abandonment was me working. What seemed like a delay was me protecting you. What seemed like the end was just the beginning. And if that word touched your heart in any way, comment now, 7777, in the comments. This number represents the seal of perfection, the completion of a cycle, the fulfillment of promises. Write with faith. Declare this as a prophetic act: the time of silence is ending, and the time of harvest is beginning. There is something powerful about when you take a stand. When you write with faith, you activate something within you. It's like raising your hand to heaven and saying, I believe. So don't hesitate. Declare now. Boldly confirm that you are ready to live what was promised. The wait was not wasted time. It was preparation time. And now, I'm going to show you that I'm not late. I arrive at the perfect time. Because I am the owner of time. And my time has come. Take a deep breath. Allow this moment to reach your heart. You have no idea what I'm about to do in your life. While you try to imagine a way out, I have already written an outcome that will surprise you. And there won't be any changes. It will be something so profound, so unexpected, and so precise, that even those who saw you fall will need to recognize that it was I who lifted you up. I don't forget any promises. I do not abandon any process. And everything I promised you in secret, I will fulfill before everyone's eyes. Within 2 months, you'll feel like you've woken up from a long winter. Everything that seemed dry will begin to bloom. What weighs heavily on your chest today will be dissipated like fog at sunrise. And what seemed impossible will become common. Because when I enter the scene, human logic loses control, and the supernatural takes over. I saw when you felt small in the face of your circumstances. When you thought you weren't capable, that you no longer had the strength, that no one believed in you. I was there, and it was at that moment that I planted seeds that are now about to be born. You stood tall when many would have fallen. You resisted when everything said it was better to stop. And this resistance, even in silence, was what attracted my gaze. That's why now the time for the reward has come. You will notice that something has changed not just around you, but within you. Your mind will be renewed. Those thoughts that haunted you, that imprisoned you, that stole your peace, will begin to dissipate. I will bring clarity where there was confusion. Rest where there was anxiety. Courage where there was fear. And this will not come by your own effort. It will come by my presence. Your faith is being matured. And because of this, you will be able to sustain what I will place in your hands. It won't be something small. It won't be something temporary. It will be something solid, lasting, transformative. Because what comes from me carries eternity. And that's why many things had to be postponed. Not out of contempt, but out of zeal. Because I don't give promises to those who are not yet ready to live them. And now, you're almost there. I have seen your financial struggle, your sleepless nights, the worries that steal your sleep. And I want you to know, I'm opening paths where you only saw walls. I'm breathing ideas, connections, opportunities that will take you to a new time. But more than that, I'm teaching you to trust. Depending on me and not on resources. Resting, even when you don't have everything in hand yet. The same goes for your emotions. There are wounds that you learned to hide so well, that even you thought they were healed. But I know each one. And I decided that now is the time for complete healing. I will touch those areas that still hurt. I will free you from memories that paralyze you. I will rebuild parts of your heart that you thought were too broken to restore. And do you know why? Because you still have a lot to live for. Because there is a beautiful story that is still being written. Because your life will not only be marked by pain, but by overcoming. You will be a restoration reference. You will inspire others with your testimony. You will see people being touched just by hearing you tell them where you were and where I placed you. Not for pride, but so that everyone knows that I am God. This transformation will not be slow. It will be sudden. Like rain that arrives by surprise on the driest day. Like light that invades a dark room. You won't understand how it happened so quickly. But you'll know where it came from. You will recognize my hand in every detail. And that will be enough to renew your faith in a way you've never experienced before. Do not doubt anymore. Don't question whether it will be for you. Because if you are hearing this now, it is because I chose to speak to you. It's because I see you. And because I decided that this time will not end as it began. It will end with a cure. With response. With transformation. and with renewal. Because I am faithful to the end. Take a deep breath. Allow this moment to reach your heart. The enemy thought you couldn't handle it. He planned to see you on the floor, discredited, alone, broken. But what he didn't expect was that I was with you the whole time. He tried to steal your peace, your faith, your strength. He tried to erase the shine in his eyes, undermine his hope, weaken his path. But today I declare, nothing that he tried to steal will remain in his hands. Everything will be refunded. Double. In honor. In glory. You were attacked in moments of weakness. Just when I was trying to start over, trying to trust, trying to get back on my feet. But even so, he didn't give up. Even though you were injured, you continued. Even though you were confused, you prayed. Even without understanding, you remained. And this has immeasurable value before me. I saw when everything inside you screamed to stop, but you chose to continue. This touched my heart. And because of this faithfulness in the midst of pain, I will reward you supernaturally. You will not be remembered for your losses, but for what you achieved after them. Because I am God of restitution. What seemed irreversible will be restored. What seemed lost will be found again. What seemed forgotten will be revived. And it won't be anyway. I will do this in my way, so that everyone will know that it was I who raised you up. There are old promises that still stand. Words that you kept in your heart and that, in the midst of your struggles, you almost forgot. But I haven't forgotten. They continue to live before me. And now is the time when I begin to fulfill them, one by one. You will see doors opening where there were walls before. You will see people coming back to ask for your forgiveness. You will see opportunities emerging where there was only frustration before. You were humiliated, ignored, underestimated. But I am the God who honors. I am the one who exalts those who have been trampled on. I did not allow all this to destroy you, but to prepare you. So that when my promise is fulfilled, you will know that it was by my hand, and not by human merit. So that no one steals the glory that belongs to me. So that your testimony is indisputable. Get ready, because what I will do in your life will be seen by everyone. It will not be something secret, hidden, shy. It will be public, notorious, surprising. The same ones who doubted will see. The same ones who turned their backs will recognize it. And you won't have to say anything. Because my glory over you will speak for itself. You are about to experience a time of abundant harvest. Everything you sowed with tears, you will reap with joy. Every prayer made in pain will be answered with peace. Every area where the enemy touched, I will restore with my power. And where there was shame, there will be double honor. Where there has been scarcity, there will be provision. Where there was sadness, there will be celebration. And I want to ask you something. Share this message with someone who is feeling robbed by the enemy. There are people who need to know that I still restore. Which I still respond to. That there is still restitution for those who remain firm. Just as this word reached you, it needs to reach others who think everything is over. And you can be that channel. Sharing is more than a gesture. It's an act of faith. It's saying, I believe in this truth and I want more people to be reached. There are lives waiting for an answer. And that could be the word that changes someone's day, direction, and even destiny. Don't keep to yourself what can heal others. Take this seed forward. It will bear fruit. You have not been forgotten. You were not left behind. You are in process. And every process has a purpose. And every purpose ends in a promise. I am the same God who restored lives in the Bible, and I continue to do so today. And now it's your turn. Now is your time. Take a deep breath. Allow this moment to reach your heart. Nothing you experienced was for nothing. Every tear, every weight, every silence had a purpose. I was molding something within you that the world doesn't see, but that is essential to sustaining everything I am about to pour into your life. There are things that I only trust to those who have been proven. And you were. The fire that surrounded you was not to burn you, it was to refine you. I wasn't punishing you. I was preparing you. You asked for open doors, and I listened. But before opening, I needed to strengthen you. Because unprepared blessings can turn into burdens. And I don't want you to receive and lose. I want you to receive and remain. That's why I took you to the desert. To remove what was excess. To reveal what was faith and what was illusion. To teach you that what sustains you is not what you have, it is who I am. And today I want you to understand, you are almost there. You're stronger than you think. You are more prepared than you think. What's coming is too big for inexperienced hands. And that's why it hurt. That's why it took so long. Because what comes carries responsibility, influence, fruits. I don't give seeds just to excite, I give them to transform. And you were chosen for this. I saw when you felt small, incapable, unworthy. I saw when you thought you had been left behind, that you weren't enough. But I was watching a vessel being shaped. Every crack was strengthened. Every crack, restored. And now, the vase is almost ready to be filled. Full of honor. Full of free. Full of my presence. You thought the time in hiding was punishment. But it was construction. While no one saw you, I was teaching you to hear my voice. Depending only on me. Not being dazzled by applause, nor discouraged by rejections. And now, when the spotlight comes, you won't get lost. Because your identity is established in me. You will be used in ways you can't even imagine. It will be an answer for lives that are where you were today. It will bring comfort, direction, and healing to hearts that are tired. But before doing it through you, I needed to do it in you. And that's what happened recently. I rebuilt you from the inside. If you felt like you lost things along the way, know that no loss will be in vain. I refund everything. But I return it with maturity. Because now you no longer search for vanity, but for purpose. You understand that living is not about conquering the world, but about honoring me in every step. And that's exactly why I can trust you now. Your story will inspire others. Not because it was perfect, but because it was real. Because even with falls, you got up. Even with doubts, you prayed. Even though you were scared, you continued. And that is faith. Faith that sustains. Faith that moves. Faith that touches the sky. And now that you've heard all this, if this word spoke to you, like this video and subscribe to the channel. This helps spread messages like this to more wounded hearts, like yours once was. It also ensures that you continue to receive direction and comfort in a timely manner. Here, you are not alone. There is an entire community being restored along with you. This is the beginning of something new. And I want you to remain aware. Because the next steps will no longer be heavy. They will be light. Because now you walk with clarity, with purpose, and with maturity. You are ready to support what would previously make you fall. Take a deep breath. Allow this moment to reach your heart. I know there are days when everything seems to stand still. You pray, wait, shut up, and nothing changes. The same struggles, the same questions, the same voids. It seems like the sky is silent. It seems like you are walking without direction. But today I want you to know, silence is not the end, it is part of the process. And those who walk by faith do not depend on signs. It depends on trust. You don't need to see to know that I am acting. You don't need to feel to know that I am present. The faith that sustains you is greater than the doubt that haunts you. And even when fear tries to take over, there is something inside you that insists on continuing. This is living faith. This is what I am strengthening within you now. Keep praying, even when it seems like nothing is happening. Keep talking to me, even when everything is silent. Because prayer doesn't just change what's around it. It changes you inside. And while you pray, I work. While you wait, I prepare. As long as you trust, I align everything. You were not called to walk by sight. He was called to walk by faith. And faith does not feed on guarantees. Faith feeds on hope. Of promises. Trust in my character. You are not just believing in what you can receive. You are believing in who I am. And that's enough. I see when your heart tightens in the face of delay. When the days pass and the answer still hasn't come. When you look everywhere and see nothing new. But I want you to continue. Because even without seeing it, you are moving forward. Even without realizing it, you are winning. Every step, no matter how small it may seem, is taking you closer to what I have prepared. There are miracles that are born in the dark. There are promises that blossom in silence. There are answers that only come when you don't give up. You may not feel it, but you are being guided. You may not see it, but you are being surrounded. You may not understand, but you are being taken care of. The time that seems sterile is, in fact, the most fertile time for your faith. It is in this hard soil that deep roots are formed. And it is these roots that will sustain the abundance that is to come. What I am building in you now will sustain what I will pour out later. So don't stop. If you were alone, you would have already fallen. But I have held you. Even when your legs fail, I support you. Even when your faith falters, I remain steadfast. I am constant. I am faithful. I am the same yesterday, today, and forever. And what I promised, I will fulfill. Even when it feels like nothing is moving, keep walking. Even when you don't feel motivated, keep believing. Because the break is approaching. And when it happens, you will understand that every step in the dark was essential to reach the light. I value every gesture of faith. Every time you chose to believe even without feeling it. Every time you decided to follow even without strength. This is what moves the sky. These are not nice words. It's a broken heart. It is persistence in prayer. It is fidelity in secret. It's faith in action. And if that word found you at that moment, enjoy this video now. Not just as a simple gesture, but as a sign, a silent amen, a response saying, Lord, I receive. Because when you react with faith, you align yourself with what heaven is releasing into your life. It may seem small, but an act of faith is never in vain. He carries within himself the seed of great miracles. And your simple click is also a spiritual declaration, I continue to believe, even without seeing. Keep walking. Keep believing. Keep declaring that you will live everything I promised. Because you will. And it goes further than you imagine. I'm with you. And that's enough. Take a deep breath. Allow this moment to reach your heart. You are not just moving into a new time. You are being prepared to experience an abundant harvest, the kind that does not go unnoticed. Everything you sowed with tears, in silence, will be harvested with joy before the eyes of many. It won't be something small, shy, hidden. It will be visible. It will be noticeable. It will be indisputable. Because I am a God of restitution, but also of reward. For a long time, you sowed without seeing results. I prayed, believed, waited, and it seemed like heaven was silent. But while you waited, I was ripening the earth. There are seeds that need the right time to sprout. There are miracles that need deep roots to not be lost. And now that time has come. Now, what seemed forgotten is beginning to show signs of life. You will see doors opening where there were walls before. You will be surprised by paths that appear out of nowhere, opportunities that arrive without logical explanation. People will be moved to favor you. Circumstances will be changed in your favor, answers will come from where you least expect them. Not because you ran after it, but because I'm moving the sky for you. Your loyalty will be honored. Your constancy will be rewarded. Those who saw you on the ground, tired, without strength, will now see my hand lifting you up. And they won't be able to say it was a coincidence. They cannot attribute it to luck. Because what I will do will be so grand, so specific, that there will only be one explanation: it was God. It was me. I want you to remember all the times you thought about giving up. From the days when everything seemed too dark. Of the nights when anguish suffocated you. Because it will be precisely these memories that will make you recognize the value of what is coming. The contrast will be visible. The time of shame will give way to the time of honor. The waiting time will be exceeded by the fulfillment time. There are people who mocked your process. Who disbelieved his prayers. Who called you a dreamer, naive, deluded. But when I begin to lift you up, their silence will be greater than the words they used to hurt you. Because I exalt those who remain. I honor those who don't give up. I lift up those who choose to trust even when everything says otherwise. This harvest will be more than you asked for. More than you prayed for. More than you imagined. Because I am the God who does beyond. How surprising. What a generous delivery. It's not an exaggeration. It's a promise. And I fulfill each one of them in perfect time. You will live days when you will get emotional just remembering where you came from. You'll find yourself smiling alone when you realize that what you've been waiting for so long has finally arrived. And the most beautiful thing about this is that your faith will be strengthened not only by what you will receive, but by the way everything will happen. It will be so divine, so aligned, so unexpected, that you will feel my touch in every detail. Nothing will be common. Nothing will be shallow. Everything will carry a deep, eternal, restorative purpose. Your testimony will be like light. It will enlighten others. It will generate hope in those who no longer believed. You will be an answer for people who are still experiencing what you have already overcome. And that is part of my promise, to make your life a sign. Make your story proof that I am real. Not just in words, but in deeds. So get ready. Begin to align your heart with what is to come. Because when the harvest begins, you'll need to be ready to receive. Not just to enjoy, but to share. Not just to celebrate, but to sustain. Because what I am going to release into your life is not just for you. It is so that you can be a channel of change in the lives of many. The harvest will be abundant. It will be notorious. And everyone will know that I was with you every step of the way. Take a deep breath. Allow this moment to reach your heart. There are things that I closed myself. Relationships that didn't continue, doors that didn't open, paths that suddenly closed. They weren't failures, they were deliverances. You were not left behind. He was spared. You have not been forgotten. It was saved. There are situations that you wanted so much to keep, but that I, with love, needed to get out of your way. Not because I didn't want to see you happy, but because I knew where it would take you. I saw what you didn't see. I heard conversations you didn't hear. I have known intentions that you would never discover. And so, silently, I removed it. And it hurt, yes. Because you created expectations, you made plans, you believed with all your heart. But what you still don't understand is that if I hadn't ended it, it would have ended with you later on. I'd rather see you cry over something that's over now than see you being destroyed by something that shouldn't continue. Don't get hung up on what's finished. Don't live on memories that only feed pain. I'm writing a new time. And what comes before you is so much bigger, so much lighter, so much more aligned with your purpose, that you will understand why I needed to close some chapters. I know you loved it. I know you dedicated yourself. I know you tried hard to make it work. But not everything that seems good is mine. And I only bless those who carry my seal. Your story is not on pause. It is under reconstruction. And part of that reconstruction involves leaving what happened in the past. You cannot live the new with your heart tied to what once was. You cannot carry the weight of what hurt you and expect lightness in what is coming. That's why I'm calling you today. Let go. Release. Let go. What I have for you is not a substitute, it is destiny. There are things that you still keep as if they were indispensable. People, memories, plans. But if all of this prevents your healing, then it doesn't come from me. I don't send bonds that suffocate. I don't build on unstable ground. And what I'm preparing now requires space. You can't hold on to the old and embrace the new at the same time. You felt like you lost a lot. But you will realize that what you lost was stopping you from moving forward. You thought I was silent as everything fell apart, but I was guiding every detail. What for you was chaos, for me was alignment. You wouldn't understand at that moment. And, therefore, I preferred to act without explaining. But now, with time, you will begin to see clearly. Feelings will still try to hold you back. The nostalgia will still hit from time to time. The memory will still visit your mind. But you are not going back to the past. You are moving towards what was promised. And every time you choose to follow, even in pain, you are saying to heaven, I trust in you. And that moves my heart. Today I tell you, you are free. Free from what held you back emotionally. Free from what held you back spiritually. Free to live something new, whole and true. But to do that, you need to stop looking back. I didn't reveal myself to you to keep you trapped. I freed you to transform you. And if that word is touching you right now, comment, I choose to leave the past to live God's new. Write as an act of faith, as a spiritual declaration. Because when you write, you take a stand. When you position yourself, the sky moves. And this movement begins with a decision. Don't just keep within yourself what needs to be declared. There is power when you name what you decide to let go. When you say out loud, or in writing, that you are ready to move forward, something changes inside you. And heaven recognizes this gesture. Today is break day. Liberation day. Healing day. Start now. You no longer need to carry that weight. I'm clearing the way. I'm taking you to places where the past doesn't fit. And what I'm preparing is so big, so light, so aligned, that you'll realize, it really was worth leaving what needed to be left behind. Take a deep breath. Allow this moment to reach your heart. The new one is already on the way. And even if your eyes don't see it yet, the sky has already released what you were waiting for. What seemed stuck began to move. What seemed far away is getting closer. But there is something that I need you to understand. To live the new, you have to prepare. It's not just about receiving. It's about sustaining. And it starts within you. You have been praying for change. It has been crying out for answers. Been asking for something different. And I heard. But before you deliver, I'm repositioning you. Because there is no point releasing blessings on someone who is still stuck in the old way of thinking. The new doesn't match the old mentality. What I am bringing requires maturity, obedience, sensitivity to my spirit. Therefore, today I invite you, align your heart with what is to come. Start acting like someone who has already won. Speak like someone who has already been healed. Pray like someone who has already received it. Walk with the certainty that something is about to happen. Because faith is not sitting around waiting. Faith is preparing. Faith is adjusting your life to fulfill the promise. Faith is making space before you even know the size of the blessing. And that's exactly what I want to see in you now, the attitude of someone who believes. Don't wait for the scenery to change to move. Change yourself first. Change your way of thinking, reacting, positioning yourself. Abandon doubt, fear, anxiety. They don't match the weather that is coming. The new requires lightness. Requires delivery. It requires full trust. And that's what I'm activating within you right now. In the next 2 months, what seemed impossible will become reality. And you need to be ready for that. Because there won't be time to prepare later. When it starts to happen, it will be quick. Doors will open in sequence. People will come your way with answers and connections. Opportunities will knock on your door without warning. And you will need to be upright, with your heart aligned and your spiritual eyes open. Don't question if it's real anymore. Just prepare yourself. Tidy up the inner house. Organize your mind. Close cycles. Get rid of unnecessary weight. There are things that cannot accompany you in this new time. There are habits that will need to be left. There are priorities that will have to change. And this is all part of the preparation. Because I do not deliver blessings on disordered ground. I deliver on fertile soil, ready, available. Your preparation is proof of your faith. And I honor those who prepare with expectation. Because they show that they truly believe. Who are not just waiting for the sake of waiting. But they are aligning themselves with the sky. Taking a stand with courage. Declaring with attitudes, I know that God will fulfill it. And that is what moves my heart. If you have been reached by this word, subscribe to this channel now. It's not just for receiving videos. It is to continue to be fed, strengthened and prepared. Because there is a journey being built, and you are part of it. Every word released here has purpose. And when you sign up, you're saying, I want to keep walking this path with God. This channel is a place of healing, direction and hope. And you no longer have to walk alone. I'm with you. And I'm lifting up people around you to remind you of that every day. Signing up is just one click, but it represents a decision to stay connected with what heaven is pouring into your life. Get ready. Because it won't be like before. It won't be a small change. It will be a complete restart. And anyone who looks at you won't even recognize you. Because what I am about to do will be visible, noticeable and transformative. And it all starts with your decision to align your heart with what is already being released. Take a deep breath. Allow this moment to reach your heart. The time has come when things will start to flow. What previously required extreme effort, which seemed stuck, heavy and repetitive, will now be light. Because I am ahead. You will no longer need to push doors. I will open each one myself, at the right time, in the right way, in front of the right people. It will no longer be about your effort, it will be about my leading. It will no longer be by force, it will be by direction. For a long time, you thought you needed to prove yourself. He fought to be seen, to be accepted, to achieve what he thought he needed. But now, I teach you to rest. Because when I am in control, the impossible becomes natural. What was once a struggle becomes a harvest. What was once sweat becomes grace. I don't want you to continue living burdened. I want you to live in full confidence. The new one I'm releasing won't just be different in outcome. It will be different in the process. Because now you will walk in partnership with me. You will learn to listen to my voice before you act. You will feel peace before taking steps. You will discern when it is time to move forward and when it is time to wait. And that will change everything. It will bring relief, clarity and direction. I'm putting everything in order. What seemed confusing will be organized. What once seemed meaningless will begin to fall into place. The right connections will arrive without you having to chase them. Resources will come without you having to beg. Because where there is purpose, there is provision. And where there is obedience, there is favor. I take care of every detail when the heart is aligned with me. You will realize that you no longer need to insist where there is no peace. You no longer need to stay in places where there is only wear and tear. Because now I will close doors that are not part of your path. And, at the same time, I will open up paths that were hidden. Paths that lead to the center of my will. Paths that carry peace, lightness, growth and fullness. That constant weight you carried in your chest will come off. Not because everything around you has changed, but because you will learn to live from the inside out. To live based on what I say, not what you feel. Trusting my word more than your fears. And this will bring a new lightness to your soul. It will bring rest to your mind. It will bring strength to your body. You no longer need to control everything. You no longer need to know all the steps before walking. You just need to trust that I have already gone ahead. That I have already prepared the ground. That I have already lined up what was needed. And as you walk in obedience, I guarantee the result. I cover the spaces. I put my hand where you can't reach. The time for solitary struggle is over. Now is the time for partnership with heaven. Time to flow with the wind of the Spirit. Time to recognize that when you align yourself with my will, everything begins to move smoothly. It's not that there won't be challenges. But you will no longer be alone. It will no longer be about surviving. It will be about living fully. I brought you here to show you that there is another way to live. A lighter, deeper way, more connected with me. And that way begins with a decision to stop fighting alone. Trust that if I am ahead, everything will fall into line. Everything will flow. Everything will happen exactly as it needs to happen. You no longer need to rush to solve everything. Now, you will walk in the rhythm of grace. And grace does not delay, it does not fail, it is not lost. Grace takes you where you couldn't go alone. Grace covers you where you are still weak. Grace transforms what was a burden into a testimony. Take a deep breath. Allow this moment to reach your heart. You have not been forgotten. I saw everything. Every detail, every tear, every thought you couldn't express in words. Nothing went unnoticed in my eyes. Not even the pain you tried to hide. Not even the effort you made to continue when everything inside you said you couldn't do it anymore. I saw it when no one else saw it. I was there when no one else was. They told you it was just a phase. That was exaggeration. That it was all in your head. But I knew firsthand the battle you were fighting inside. I saw how difficult it was to get up every day with a heavy heart, trying to smile while my soul screamed for help. And yet, you followed. Even without strength, you walked. Even without understanding, you trusted. You thought I was silent. That I didn't care. But the truth is, while you were crying, I was holding your faith with my own hands. You did not fall because I supported you. You did not get lost because I guided you. And now, after everything you faced, I come to remind you, I was there all along. You were never ignored. You were never left behind. Your story is precious to me. The chapters you have lived so far are written in my book in detail. Nothing was in vain. Not even the moments when you thought about giving up. Not even the days when you prayed in silence, not knowing if I was listening. He was. I was listening to every unspoken word, every stifled cry, every thought of pain and hope mixed together. You may have felt forgotten by people. He may have looked around and found no one. But I was with you behind the scenes of your pain. Behind the scenes of your waiting. And even when it seemed like nothing changed, I was changing you inside. Because before transforming what is around you, I take care of what is within you. You have grown up. You have matured. You learned to trust beyond emotions. And now, you are ready to live what I promised. The wait was not wasted time. It was construction time. It was time for healing. It was foundation time. And all of this will serve as the basis for what I will release into your life. I want you to look back and realize how far you have come. How many fights did he win? How many dark days have been crossed so far? You are stronger. More sensitive to my voice. Firmer in faith. And this is the result of the journey we have lived together. You were never alone. Every step was monitored. Every decision was assisted. And now, the time has come to reap what was sown with tears. Honor is on the way. The answer is close. Relief is being released. And all of this will be visible, indisputable, eternal. Because what I do, no one can undo. And what I start, I finish. The promise is still alive. And you are still part of my plans. And if that word spoke to you in a special way, comment now, I know that God saw me. Write with faith. Declare from the heart. This comment is not just a reaction, it is a spiritual position. When you declare that you have been seen, you align yourself with the truth of heaven. And this truth breaks every lie of the enemy that tried to convince you that you were alone. You have been seen. It was loved. It was taken care of. And now it will be honored. Because the time of pain was not the end. It was the preparation. What seemed like oblivion was, in fact, an attention so deep that even silence was cared for. And this care will turn into harvest. In celebration. In living testimony of my faithfulness. Take a deep breath. Allow this moment to reach your heart. Do not doubt what I have already written about you. Even if everything around you screams otherwise, even if your emotions fluctuate, even if time seems too long, what I said is still valid. I am not a man to lie, nor a son of man to promise and not fulfill. If I said it, it's done. If I wrote it, it is sealed. And nothing you've experienced so far has been enough to cancel out what's to come. You have been attacked by thoughts of uncertainty. The enemy whispers that too much time has passed, that you are no longer the same, that you missed the opportunity. But that's a lie. The promise does not depend on its conditions. It depends on my faithfulness. And I continue to be faithful. What I started, I finish. What I planned, I fulfill. And nothing can frustrate my plans for your life. I know the wait was tiring. I know the delay made you question whether you really heard it right. But I'm here to reaffirm, you heard it right, yes. It was me you were talking to. It was my voice that you felt. It was my spirit that confirmed you. And even though time has tried to erase it, I come to rekindle it now. The flame is still burning. And what I promised still stands. The time that has passed has not invalidated what is coming. On the contrary, it strengthened you, polished you, refined you. There are areas within you that only matured because I allowed you to go through certain weights. And all this was not delay. It was alignment. Because when the heart is ready, the promise comes as an answer, not as a distraction. And your heart is almost there. Don't let anxiety steal what is being prepared with so much zeal. Don't allow fear to paralyze you on the edge of promise. You're too close to back away. And if I haven't released it yet, it's because I'm finishing the last details. Because when it arrives, it will be complete. It will be perfect. It will be better than what you imagined. And you will understand why it took so long. Doubt is the most subtle weapon that the enemy uses to deflect. He knows that if he succeeds in undermining his faith, he breaks his constancy. That's why he tries to convince you that I forgot. But you need to remember, every promise stands the test of time. And those who remain, reap. Those who continue to believe, even if in silence, see the fulfillment with their own eyes. I want you to look inside yourself now. And see how much progress has already been made. See how much you've already overcome. You are no longer the same person who started this journey. You are more sensitive to my voice, stronger in faith, more steadfast in spirit. And all of this is the result of waiting. Fruit of the process. Fruit of trust. I will still surprise you. I will still open doors that you thought were closed forever. I'll still put you in places you didn't even dare dream of. Because what I wrote about you is bigger than any label they tried to put on it. It's bigger than any mistake in the past. It's bigger than any circumstance. And it is eternal. It is sealed in heaven. If that word spoke to you, enjoy this video now. Not just as a gesture of support, but as an act of faith. As if to say, I continue to believe. As if declaring, the promise still lives in me. This simple touch is a silent response to heaven, a sign that you are still waiting with a ready heart. The sky moves with your faith. with small gestures, but full of conviction. And today, what I ask of you is this: don't give up. Keep believing. Keep walking. Keep remembering everything I have already said. Because what is written about you, no one can erase. You are part of a bigger plan. And that plan is underway. Soon, everything will begin to reveal itself. And you will remember this day as the moment you decided to believe again. Take a deep breath. Allow this moment to reach your heart. Take a deep breath. This is just the beginning of something extraordinary. You didn't get here for nothing. Every second of this journey prepared you for this moment. Even though everything seems the same on the outside, inside something has already started to change. There is a new level of sensitivity in your spirit, a new hope forming in your heart, a new breath emerging in your soul. And this is a sign that I am acting. That the previous cycle is ending, and a new time is now being born. What seemed like the end was, in fact, the exact point where I repositioned you. You went through difficult phases, where you thought nothing made sense. Where everything seemed out of place. Where the silence was intense and the losses seemed greater than the strength. But even in this dark place, I was there, caring, protecting, working in silence. Every broken piece of you passed through my hands. Each part that fragmented was collected carefully. And now, all of this is being rebuilt with an even greater purpose. I didn't bring you here to just ease your pain. I brought you to restore your identity, renew your vision, and activate a new purpose within you. What comes from now on will not just be about healing, but about destiny. You have been healed to live, you have been restored to fulfill, you have been repositioned to influence. Nothing will be the same again. And this new one will not be imposed by force. It will flow. Because you have already been prepared to receive it. Many things are still not clear to your eyes. And that's okay. The faith you carry today is enough to walk even without all the answers. You don't need to see the full plan to follow. You just need to know that I am ahead, guiding each step. And I am. Each morning, you will be surprised with signs that the sky is moving in your favor. With each prayer, you will feel more clearly that you are not speaking to the void. I listen. I respond. I act. You will notice, little by little, that lightness is returning. That peace is taking the place of unrest. That hope, once weak, is growing strong within you. This is the new blooming. It is the beginning of the extraordinary that I promised. And even though there are still days of struggle, they will no longer have the same weight. Because now you know who is with you. Now you remember that you are supported by a promise that does not fail. Don't compare yourself to anyone. Don't rush the processes. What is coming is so personal, so unique, so yours, that it would be unfair to place any human expectations on it. What I prepared was custom-molded. And at the right time, everything will make sense. You will look back and say, it was necessary. It was God. It was worth it. Don't be afraid of the next steps. Do not hesitate before the doors that I will open. They will come with confirmation. They will come with peace. They will come with my signature. And you will know when it is time to cross them. Because everything around you will testify that the moment has come. You will not be confused. You will not be deceived. What is mine comes clearly. And what I begin, I sustain until the end. It doesn't matter how many times you thought you couldn't do it. It doesn't matter if the process was longer than you expected. What matters is that you made it this far. And this point where you are now is not the end. It's the restart. The breath of a new season. The invisible twist that changes everything. The spiritual milestone of a time of fruitfulness. You were tried, but you remained. It was broken, but not lost. He was discredited, but he continued to trust. And so, now, heaven releases fulfillment upon you. The answer. The renewal. The transformation. Everything that was planted with faith begins to sprout. Everything that was awaited in tears begins to blossom. Everything that seemed forgotten begins to align perfectly. Take a deep breath. Allow this moment to reach your heart. Breathe deeply. Let your heart be touched by this moment. It is no accident that you are here. I have a very important item to tell you, which is why I brought you here. I witnessed all that you have endured thus far. The days you carried burdens no one could have predicted, the nights you wept in private. I was present. On the exterior, everyone saw your grin, but on the inside, I saw the struggle. The world said it was hyperbole and drama, but I thought of the effort you put in just to keep going. I observed that you were attempting to conceal your discomfort so that no one would be alarmed. When all you needed was someone to reassure you that everything will be well, I witnessed you attempting to be strong for everyone. I have come to inform you that everything will be all right. Since I am present. Even when you felt alone, I was always there for you. Even when you felt that no one else was interested in you, I never abandoned you. You weren't the only person I saw. I sympathized with you. I noted each tear that escaped your eyes. I heard every moan of exhaustion. And even if you didn't say anything, I could feel your prayers. There are days when you wake up exhausted before you even get out of bed, something that many people are unaware of. Before the sun rises, agony strikes. Before you even open your eyes, anxiety takes over. Still, you follow. You rise up despite your lack of strength. You keep going even when you don't comprehend. I am aware of that. Since I have been your support system up to this point. It was neither his skill nor his merit. When everything seemed to be falling apart, you were cradled in my hand. And I want you to realize one thing today, everything you have done has a reason. It was all for nothing. No tears fell by accident. My silence was never reckless. Everything had a purpose, everything at all. You will understand, even if you don't now. You will notice that nothing has been lost in 2 months. What feels like suffering now will be evidence tomorrow. It will be evidence that I was with you the entire time that pounds heavily on your chest today. Do you understand what it's like to battle by yourself? Do you feel as though nobody truly gets you? I am aware. I witnessed you attempting to clarify and seek assistance, but all you got were criticisms. And you persisted in spite of everything. You kept looking for me even though you had no answers. I was moved by this. Do you believe I missed your prayer when you said, "Thy will be done," even though you were at your breaking point? I observed. And I made the decision to honor you at that very moment. I'll demonstrate why it was worthwhile to keep believing. The chapter of suffering is not where your story ends. I've prepared a fresh page for you. I brought you here today for that reason. Because it's time to make a fresh start. Now is the moment to mend what has been damaged, fix what has been damaged, and raise what has fallen. The desert is turned into a garden by me, the God. Where there was only dust, I am the God who creates life. And I'll treat you that way. However, you must think that I am speaking to you right now before anything else occurs. That this word belongs to you and is not generic or for other people. It was composed with your heart in mind. Since I can see you, you are someone I know. And you were my choice. Despite the setbacks, anxieties, and uncertainties. I see beyond what others perceive, which is why I selected you. I see the sincerity of the heart, the drive to succeed, and the will to persevere. And for me, that is sufficient. I believe this word is for me, is what I want you to say with faith today. Now leave a comment. Make a brave declaration. It matters that you know it's me talking to you, regardless of who else sees it. Something in the spiritual realm is triggered by this straightforward act of faith. Positioning causes the sky to shift. The heavens open when you declare in trust. When done from the heart, nothing is too tiny. And I give thanks to those whose hearts open to hear what I have to say. Therefore, stop fighting your feelings. Stop trying to conceal your suffering. Give everything up to me. I already know what you go through, but I still want to hear you say, Father, I need you, because I answer your calls. I appear when you look for me. And I change when you give up. Prepare from now on. You're not going to leave this location the way you came. Something new began to move. And soon, you will be able to witness firsthand what you silently prayed for. Breathe deeply. Let your heart be touched by this moment. You believed the stillness to be an indication that I was not there, but you were unaware that I was preparing for something far more significant than you could have ever guessed during the moment I ceased speaking. I was working on details you can't see yet, while you believed nothing was occurring. You believed that your faith was in vain, that your words were incoherent, and that your prayers were striking the ceiling. However, I can assure you that not a single word was missed today. No tear dropped without my noticing it. No agony was overlooked. Even when it felt like I had abandoned you, I was always there. You prayed with tears in your eyes and a heavy heart, unable to speak in full sentences. All you could say was, give me strength, and help me, and that was sufficient. I only need a true heart, I don't require flawless speeches. And before me, your heart was always pure. You continued to return even when you had reservations and when you believed I had forgotten about you. Notwithstanding your pain, you persisted in speaking with me. And for that reason, I am opening the skies to answer right now. I witnessed you resisting thoughts that would have caused you to give up. The enemy attempted to imply that I didn't care, that nothing would change, and that you were praying in vain. However, he lies. It was always that way. Because I had already started to move things in your favor the moment you shouted out. I withheld some answers because I love you too much to offer them to you before the timing was perfect, not because I didn't want to. I saw protection where you saw delay. Care was what appeared to be quiet. His hardship was not understood by many around him. They were even criticized for their religion. You made an effort to open your heart and explain, but nobody was able to comprehend. And you were quiet in your heart. You ignored the agony, believing it to be invisible, and carried on in silence. However, I did see you. I am aware of all your innermost thoughts, worries, and uncertainties that you kept to yourself. I witnessed the times when you wished to vanish. I was with you when you could only cry as you gazed up at the sky. I want you to know now that everything will make sense. There was no waste of tears. There was no time wasted. It was preparation, not punishment, that you underwent. I was helping to mold your personality, bolster your faith, and mend old scars you can't recall. And it's all going to flourish. You won't be yourself anymore. You won't recognize your life in 2 months. And you'll see why things transpired as it did when you look back. It was a period of roots when you were silent. I forced you to develop inside while no one could see. And now is the moment to produce results. Now is the moment to emerge from the cave, lift your head, exhale a sigh of relief, and experience hope rising in your chest once more. The emptiness that carried you inside and the agony that appeared to never go away are now being torn away. Because there is no sadness left where I am. The brightness chases away the darkness wherever I end up. I am aware that it can be difficult to maintain faith in a higher purpose at times. I am aware that fatigue made you feel as though you were at your weakest. However, you resisted. And there is a prize for those who resist with faith. Things are going your way. I'm sending people to bless your life who you can't even imagine. They're getting the doors ready. Opportunities are being modified. What you have been waiting so long for is already beginning to be released. What do I want from you now, do you know? May you spread this message to those who require it. Beside you, there is a silent person who is crying within, just like you did. And I'll know I'm hearing his cry because of this message. Now share. Serve as a conduit for my message to someone. I want to use you to reach others the way I reached you. The number of others that are experiencing what you did is unknown to you. Additionally, the act of sharing itself may be the solution to someone's prayer. This term is about healing, emancipation, and beginning anew. It's not just about you. Multiplying what you are now receiving is the goal. It's about giving others hope and helping you make sense of your suffering. You are getting healed today. You are being exalted today. I gave your eyes a fresh gleam and your heart a new fire today. You're not by yourself. You weren't. I assure you that a period of harvest, lightness, serenity, and fullness is upon us. And it doesn't end here. It's only the start of something much greater than you could have ever imagined. It wasn't a stroke of luck. It was no accident. My hand was it. Breathe deeply. Let your heart be touched by this moment. You are living at the end of a cycle, even though you may not even be aware of it right now. Something that appeared to go on forever is going to end. The period of suffering is giving way to the period of hope. Furthermore, it is neither an illusion nor an exaggeration. It's a compliment. Since I don't tell lies. Additionally, whatever I said eventually comes to pass. In front of your eyes, your story will undergo a transformation. Your chest ache today will serve as tangible evidence that I am still the God who can turn sorrow into joy. I am aware that there are days when nothing seems to change and the fatigue only becomes worse. When will this all end, you wonder? You question whether you're truly headed in the correct direction. And you consider giving up in quiet. However, I have come to inform you that you are closer than you think. You are just a step away from witnessing what I have in store for you. The miracle you have been waiting for is only a moment away. You weren't brought here to see you collapse, was I? To demonstrate my faithfulness, I have brought you here. Do you consider your appearance in this video to be fortunate? That it was simply another lovely message in a sea of them? No. It was a response. It was resolved. God was involved. To get to you right now, I shifted time, algorithms, and situations. Because this was something you needed to hear. Because I prevented your heart from closing just as it was going to. You are too important to be neglected. And for that reason, I've come to see you. You will testify about what is upsetting you now. Your strength will come from the things that hurt today. I will change everything you believe to be the end into a fresh start. Some people believed you were a failure after seeing you. Some individuals made judgments about you based on the stages you experienced. They are unaware, however, that I was at work when you were crying. While you believed that everything had halted, I was working on the following page. It is time to flip that page now. You will comprehend why it hurt so much in 2 months. You will be stirred when you look back, not in a bad way, but with thankfulness. Since I'm an expert at altering narratives, destinies are rewritten by me, the God. And I shall use my own hands to restore everything that appeared to be lost. You will be remembered for what you conquered, not for what you lost. Your chest will no longer be heavy with pain, instead, it will be light with victory. I'll open the doors myself that have closed. I'll make up for the chances you believed you lost in a more spectacular manner. And human effort won't be the cause of any of this. It'll be done out of grace. Because nothing and no one can stop me from honoring someone I've decided to do so. I don't consider recognition, titles, or looks. I examine the heart. And despite your shortcomings and failures, I have been gratified by yours. So, keep going with an open mind. Don't isolate yourself once more. Don't let the suffering of yesterday to prevent you from mending now. You're not by yourself. Furthermore, it was never. Even when you felt nothing, my spirit was all around you. I've heard your faith. And amazing things will occur as a result of this confidence. Changes will occur within you as well as around you. Where there was only worry, there will be peace again. Where fear once prevailed, hope will flourish. And now I have a question for you. Please like this video and subscribe to the channel if this word resonated with you. This goes beyond statistics. It's so that when you need words most, they will continue to reach your heart directly. You may reach more people by liking and subscribing, just as you did right now. Right now, someone is requesting a sign. And this kind of communication might be the solution that heaven uses. How many people's hearts are wailing like yours is beyond you. Additionally, every act of faith you do, even if it's just clicking, serves as a conduit for others to find solace, guidance, and rejuvenation. You participate in what I do. Additionally, it's a move rather than a video. To get my message out there, I am uplifting regular folks with good intentions. Take a big breath now. I am aware that you are experiencing a shift within yourself. And what is that, do you know? The new season is about to begin. It's my spirit's presence, hugging you from within. The weight is dropping. Relief is on the way. It is the assurance that you have my presence. And it was all for naught, nothing at all. Breathe deeply. Let your heart be touched by this moment. You assumed that my lack of response was an indication of forgetfulness. That I was demonstrating my lack of concern by taking so long to reply to you. In actuality, though, I was closer than ever while you were unsure of my location. Working on the details that are not yet visible. Laying down routes in areas without any ground. Rearranging situations, people, and things so that everything works out according to the ideal blueprint I created for your life. Silence does not always equate to absence. Waiting is not always a penalty. Some silences are therapeutic. You watch as they construct procedures that make things stronger. And I let you go through this period to help you grow up, not to ruin you. Even when you couldn't see it, I needed you to learn to trust. Must keep going even if I didn't feel like it. To follow me even if you don't comprehend. Because genuine faith is fueled by a profound confidence in my character as well as promises. They weren't ignoring you. Conversely, every cry you made was attentively heard. Heaven accepted every plea that was spoken in between sobs. My face didn't turn away. I kept my ears open. I watched you grow there. Because quiet is the only thing that may expose certain things. Certain dependencies can only be broken by nothingness. Only when everything appears to be at a stop do some levels of faith become active. I was lining you up with my timing while you believed you were on hold. I was organizing things while you believed nothing was moving. I prepared transformation in response to your request for an answer. I was creating a new route, and you wanted a way out. I was getting ready to testify, and all you wanted was comfort. Therefore, don't allow your senses deceive you. They tell lies. However, I stand by what I say. Have you ever observed that something within of you simply resisted when you felt like you couldn't handle it? No, you didn't fall. You remained intact. And it wasn't a coincidence. My hand was it. It was my inner power that kept you going. Silently, I gave you authority. Everything that was planted in the dark will now start to grow in the light. It will be revealed what no one saw. And a lot of people will question how you achieved it. You'll realize it was God. I was the one. There was more to this quiet than silence. Fertility was present. I created roots, sowed dreams, and mended wounds you had already come to terms with being permanent. I made a wait-for-purpose transaction. You will now begin to see the signals gradually. Tiny doors that open. Connections that appear unexpectedly. A lightness that was before absent. A rest that comes from knowing I'm beside you, not from the circumstances. Don't stress over people who don't comprehend your method. Don't wait for acclaim to confirm your experiences. The human eye perceives appearance. I perceive essence. Furthermore, what I am creating in you will be strong, timeless, and unbreakable. Because those who are molded in private are maintained in public. And even when it all looks quiet, you will be a living example of why you are trustworthy. When you look back, you'll be glad you persisted. Even though you were unaware of it, you will come to understand that I was carrying you. Not a single day was wasted. No tears were disregarded. I worked, which felt like abandonment. I was protecting you, which is why there seemed to be a delay. It was only the beginning, even though it felt like the conclusion. If the word 7777 resonated with you in any way, please leave a remark below. This figure stands for the completion of a cycle, the fulfillment of promises, and the stamp of perfection. Compose with faith. Declare this to be a prophetic act. The harvest season is coming, and the period of silence is coming to an end. When you take a stand, you have a certain power. Writing from a place of faith awakens something inside of you. Don't hesitate, it's like putting your hand up to heaven and declaring, I believe. Now make a declaration. Declare with courage that you are prepared to fulfill the promises made. Time was not wasted waiting. It was time to get ready. I will now demonstrate that I am not late. I get there just in time. Because time belongs to me. And now is my moment. Breathe deeply. Let your heart be touched by this moment. What I'm going to do to your life is unknown to you. I've already written a surprising conclusion as you struggle to think of a way out. Furthermore, nothing will change. Even those who witnessed your fall will have to acknowledge that I was the one who helped you get back up, because it will be something so significant, so surprising, and so accurate. I never forget what I've promised. I never give up on a process. And I'll fulfill all of the secret promises I made to you in front of everyone. You'll feel as though you've woken up from a lengthy winter in just 2 months. All that appeared to be dry will start to bloom. At morning, everything that is weighing you down today will vanish like fog. And the seemingly unattainable will become the norm. Because the supernatural takes over and human logic falters when I'm present. I witnessed your feelings of inadequacy in light of your situation. When you believed that no one believed in you, that you were incapable, and that you had lost your strength. Even though I was present, I sowed the seeds that will soon sprout. When many would have fallen, you stood tall. When everything told you to quit, you refused. And it was this resistance, even in silence, that caught my attention. Thus, the moment for the award has arrived. You'll realize that something has shifted within you as well as around you. Your thoughts will be revitalized. The thoughts that have been haunting you, keeping you in jail, and stealing your tranquility will start to fade. I will provide clarity where it was lacking. Where there was anxiety, rest. Where there was fear, there was courage. And you can't do this on your own. My presence will bring it. You are maturing in your faith. You will be able to support what I put in your hands as a result. It won't be a little matter. It won't be a short-term situation. It will be something substantial, enduring, and transforming. Because everything that comes from me is eternal. And as a result, a lot of things had to wait. Not with disdain, but with fervor. I don't make promises to people who aren't prepared to live up to them. You're almost there now. I've witnessed your financial hardship, your restless nights, and the anxieties that keep you up at night. Additionally, I want you to know that I'm creating pathways where you previously only saw walls. I am the source of concepts, relationships, and chances that will transport you to a different era. More than everything else, though, I'm teaching you to trust. Relying on myself rather than resources. Taking a break, even if you haven't finished anything yet. Your feelings are no different. You may have managed to conceal certain scars so well that you believed they had healed. However, I am familiar with all of them. And I concluded that it's time for full recovery. I'll massage the regions that are still sore. I'll rid you of the memories that hold you back. I will mend the pieces of your heart that you believed were irreparable. Do you know why, too? Since you still have a lot of life left to live. Due to the fact that a lovely tale is still being written. Because your life will be characterized by both triumph and suffering. You will serve as a model for restoration. Your tale will serve as an inspiration to others. People will be moved simply by hearing you explain where you were and where I put you. To let everyone know that I am God, not to boast. This change won't happen slowly. It will happen quickly. Similar to unexpected rain on the driest day. similar to light entering a pitch-black space. How it happened so fast will be beyond you. But you'll understand its origin. In every detail, you will be able to identify my hand. And that alone will be sufficient to revitalize your faith in a manner that has never been experienced before. Give up doubting. Never doubt if it will be for you. Because I decided to talk to you, which is why you are hearing this now. I saw you, that's why. Additionally, I made the decision that this time would not finish the way it started. There will be a cure at the end. In reaction. With change. And with rebirth. Because I stick by you through thick and thin. Breathe deeply. Let your heart be touched by this moment. The opponent believed you were incapable of handling it. He intended to see you lying on the ground, broken, alone, and disgraced. The fact that I was with you the entire time, however, caught him off guard. He attempted to take away your power, faith, and tranquility. He made an effort to dim his path, erode his hope, and remove the gleam from his eyes. Today, however, I announce that he shall no longer possess anything that he attempted to steal. All of it will be reimbursed. Double. In respect. In splendor. When you were weak, you were attacked. Right as I was trying to rebuild my life, try to trust people, and try to start anew. Nevertheless, he persisted. Despite your injuries, you persisted. You prayed despite your confusion. You stayed even if you didn't understand. And in front of me, this has incalculable value. I watched as your entire being begged you to quit, but you persisted. I was moved by this. And I will give you a remarkable recompense for your faithfulness in the face of suffering. You will be remembered for what you accomplished after your losses, not for what you lost. Since I am the God of reparations, what appeared to be irreparable will be fixed. You will find what seemed lost. The seemingly forgotten will be brought back to life. Besides, it won't be. To let everyone know that I was the one who brought you up, I will do things my way. Some past pledges are still in effect. Words that you held close to your heart but nearly forgot in the thick of your difficulties. I haven't forgotten, though. They still live ahead of me. And this is the moment when I start to satisfy each of them individually. Where there used to be walls, doorways will be opening. People will return to you to beg for your pardon. Opportunities will start to appear where there was previously only frustration. You were devalued, disregarded, and humiliated. However, I am the honoring God. Those who have been crushed underfoot are exalted by me. All of this was meant to prepare you, not to ruin you. In order for you to realize that my hand, not human merit, was responsible for the fulfillment of my promise. So that I don't lose the honor that is rightfully mine. In order for your evidence to be unquestionable. Prepare yourself because everyone will witness what I accomplish in your life. It won't be something bashful, private, or concealed. It will be unexpected, well-known, and public. Those who questioned will see. It will be recognized by the same people who turned their backs. Additionally, you won't need to speak. Since my grandeur over you will be self-evident. An era of bountiful harvest is about to begin for you. You will joyfully receive what you sowed with sorrow. Every painful prayer will have a peaceful response. I shall use my power to restore every area that the enemy has touched. Additionally, there will be double glory where there was disgrace. Provision will exist where there has been shortage. There will be rejoicing where there was sorrow. And I have a question for you. Tell someone who feels defrauded by the enemy about this message. Some folks should be aware that I continue to restore. Which I continue to reply to. That those who are steadfast can still receive retribution. This word must reach others who believe that everything is over, just as it did you. And that channel may be you. It's not just a gesture to share. It's a faith act. People's lives are waiting for an answer, and it's saying, I believe in this truth and I want more people to be reached. And single word has the power to alter someone's day, course, and perhaps fate. Don't keep something that can help others to yourself. Proceed with this seed. It will pay off. We haven't forgotten you. You weren't abandoned. You're in the process. Additionally, every procedure has a goal. And every goal culminates with a pledge. I continue to repair lives today because I am the same God who did so in the Bible. It's your time now. It's your turn now. Breathe deeply. Let your heart be touched by this moment. Your experiences weren't in vain. There was a reason behind every cry, every wait, and every silence. I was shaping something inside of you that is invisible to the outside world but is necessary to support everything I am about to pour into your life. I only trust people who have proven themselves in certain situations. You were, too. The purpose of the fire that encircled you was to refine you, not to burn you. You weren't being punished by me. I was getting you ready. I listened to your request for open doors. But I had to make you stronger before I opened. Because blessings that come as a surprise might become burdens. Additionally, I don't want you to win and lose. I desire that you receive and stay. I took you to the desert for that reason. To take away the surplus. To make clear what was delusion and what was trust. To teach you that who I am, not what you own, is what keeps you going. And I want you to know that you are almost there today. You underestimate your strength. You underestimate how well prepared you are. It's too enormous for unskilled hands to handle. And it hurt because of it. It took so long because of this. Because duty, influence, and fruit are all part of what comes. I give seeds to transform, not merely to stimulate people. And this is what you were picked for. I witnessed your feelings of inadequacy, incapacity, and smallness. I witnessed the moment when you felt inadequate and abandoned. However, I was observing the shaping of a vessel. Each fissure was reinforced. All the cracks were fixed. The vase is now nearly prepared for filling. Honorable. Completely free. Full of me. You believed that being in concealment was a form of punishment. However, it was a building project. I was teaching you to hear my voice while no one else could see you. Relying solely on myself. Not being deterred by rejections or enchanted by acclaim. And you won't get lost now when the spotlight shines. Because me is the foundation of your identity. You won't even know how you'll be exploited. It will provide an answer for people who were in your shoes today. It will provide tired hearts with solace, guidance, and healing. However, I had to accomplish it in you before I could do it through you. Recently, I completely rebuilt you from the inside out. Know that no loss will be in vain, even if it seems like you lost something along the path. I give a complete return. However, I give it back in a mature manner. Because you are now looking for significance rather than vanity. You realize that living is about honoring me at every turn, not about taking over the world. And for that very reason, I can now put my trust in you. People will be inspired by your narrative. It was genuine, not because it was flawless. Because you got up despite falling. You prayed despite your reservations. You persisted in spite of your fear. And faith is that. Faith that endures. Faith that is dynamic. Faith that reaches the heavens. After hearing all of this, please like this video and subscribe to the channel if this word resonated with you. These aids in reaching more wounded souls, just like yours, with messages like these. It also guarantees that you will continue to get timely guidance and consolation. You're not alone here. Alongside you, a whole community is being restored. Something fresh is about to begin. And I want you to stay conscious. Since the subsequent steps won't be as burdensome. They'll be light. Because you now walk with maturity, clarity, and purpose. You're prepared to stand by what used to bring you down. Breathe deeply. Let your heart be touched by this moment. I am aware that sometimes it feels like nothing moves. You wait, pray, and keep quiet. And nothing is altered. The identical challenges, queries, and gaps remain. The sky appears to be silent. It appears that you are moving aimlessly. However, I want you to understand that quiet is a necessary part of the process and does not mean the end. Furthermore, people who follow their faith are independent of indications. Trust is essential. I'm acting, and you don't have to see it. You can sense my presence without feeling it. The doubt that bothers you is outweighed by the faith that keeps you going. And something inside of you insists on going on even when dread attempts to take over. Faith is being lived here. I am now reinforcing this within you. Even if nothing seems to be happening, keep praying. Even when everything is quiet, don't stop talking to me. Because prayer does more than only alter the environment. It transforms you on the inside. And I work while you pray. I get ready while you wait. I align anything as long as you have trust. To stroll by sight was not your calling. His calling was to live by faith. Furthermore, trust does not thrive on assurances. Hope is the foundation of faith. Of assurances. Have faith in my morals. You're not merely having faith in what you can get. You have faith in my identity. And that's sufficient. I can see how your heart constricts when there is a wait. As days go by and there's still no response. When nothing fresh is visible despite searching everywhere. However, I urge you to go on. Because you are moving forward even if you can't see it. You are winning even if you aren't aware of it. You are getting closer to what I have planned with each step, no matter how tiny it may appear. Some miracles are born in the shadows. Silence is the flowering of some promises. Only when you persevere will you find the answers. Even though you might not be aware of it, you are being led. Even though you can't see it, you're encircled. Even though you might not comprehend, you are being looked after. Actually, the most fruitful period for your religion is the one that appears to be sterile. The formation of deep roots occurs in this hard soil. And the upcoming richness will be maintained by these roots. What I pour out later will be supported by what I am creating in you now. Don't stop, then. You would have fallen by now if you were by yourself. I have, however, held you. I'll be there for you even if your legs give out. I don't waver, even when your trust does. I never change. I'm dependable. Yesterday, today, and forever, I am the same. And I will fulfill what I promised. Continue walking even if it seems like nothing is happening. Continue to believe even when you're not feeling inspired. Do of the impending break. And when it does, you'll realize that each step you took in the dark was necessary to get to the light. I cherish every act of trust. Each time you made the decision to believe without experiencing it. Each time you made the decision to follow despite your lack of strength. The sky is moved by this. These are not kind words. This heart is broken. It is prayerful perseverance. It's covert fidelity. It's faith manifested. Enjoy this video now if that word caught your attention at that precise moment. As a sign, not simply a simple gesture, a silent amen, a reply that says, Lord, I receive. Because you match yourself with what heaven is bringing into your life when you respond with faith. An act of trust, no matter how minor, is never in vain. He has the seed of huge miracles inside of him. Additionally, your straightforward click is a spiritual affirmation, I still believe even if I can't see. Continue to walk. Continue to believe. Continue saying that you will fulfill all of my promises. Since you will. It also goes farther than you might think. I agree with you. And that's sufficient. Breathe deeply. Let your heart be touched by this moment. You're not simply entering a new era. You are being set up for a bountiful harvest, the type that is not overlooked. In front of many people, what you cultivated in silently and with tears will be joyfully harvested. It won't be something modest, reticent, or concealed. It will be apparent. It will be apparent. It won't be debatable. Because I am a God of both reward and reparation. You sowed for a long period and got no results. I waited, believed, and prayed. And heaven appeared to be quiet. But I was ripening the earth while you waited. Certain seeds require the ideal moment to germinate. Deep roots are necessary for certain miracles to endure. And the moment has arrived. Now, life is starting to emerge from what appeared to be forgotten. Where there used to be walls, doorways will be opening. You will be taken aback by unexpected possibilities and unexpected paths that don't make sense. Situations will alter in your favor, people will be persuaded to support you, and you will receive unexpected replies. You didn't run after it. But because I'm helping you move the sky. Your allegiance will be respected. You will be rewarded for your consistency. Those who saw you weak and exhausted on the ground will now see my hand raising you up. Furthermore, they will be unable to claim that it was a coincidence. They can't blame it on chance. Because my actions will be so spectacular and detailed that there will only be one possible explanation: God was involved. I was the one. I want to remind you of all the times you considered giving up. From the times when it all felt so bleak. Of the evenings you were suffocated by agony. Because it will be these recollections that will help you appreciate what is about to happen. You'll notice the difference. The period of honor will replace the period of disgrace. The fulfillment time will be longer than the waiting time. Some people made fun of your procedure. Who didn't think his prayers were real? Who said you were naive, foolish, or a dreamer? However, their silence will surpass the words they used to harm you once I start to uplift you. For I exalt those who are left. I respect those who persevere. I encourage people who decide to have faith in spite of all the evidence to the contrary. This harvest will be beyond your expectations. More than you asked for in prayer. More than you thought. Because I am the all-powerful God. How unexpected. What a kind gift. This isn't hyperbole. It's a pledge. And I complete each of them on schedule. There will be days when you will feel emotional just thinking about your origins. When you see that what you've been expecting for so long has finally come, you'll find yourself grinning by yourself. The most lovely part about this is that your faith will be reinforced by everything that happens to you as well as by what you will receive. You will sense my hand in every little detail because it will be so exquisite, so in harmony, and so unexpected. There won't be anything typical. Nothing will be flimsy. There will be a profound, enduring, healing purpose behind everything. It will be like light when you testify. Others will learn from it. It will inspire hope in people who had lost faith. For others who are still going through what you have already gone through, you will be the solution. Making your life a sign is part of what I promised. Provide evidence that I am real in your story. In actions as well as words. Prepare yourselves, then. Start preparing your heart for what lies ahead. Because you'll need to be prepared to receive when the harvest starts. To share as well as to enjoy. Not merely to rejoice, but to maintain. For what I am about to pour into your life is not for you alone. It's so you may be a conduit for change in the lives of a lot of people. There will be a bountiful crop. It will be well known. And everyone will know that I supported you the entire time. Breathe deeply. Let your heart be touched by this moment. I have cut myself up to some things. Paths that abruptly closed, doors that didn't open, relationships that ended. They were deliverances, not failures. You weren't abandoned. He was not hurt. We haven't forgotten you. It was spared. There are times when you really wanted to keep things, but I had to move out of your way out of love. I understood where happiness would lead you, not because I didn't want to see you happy. What you didn't see, I saw. You didn't hear the conversations I overheard. You would never find out my known objectives. So I took it off, quietly. Yes, it was painful. Because of the plans you made, the expectations you set, and your sincere belief. You still don't realize, though, that it would have ended with you later if I hadn't ended it. I would rather watch you weep over something that is now behind you than watch you be ruined by something that shouldn't go on. Don't obsess over the completed product. Don't let painful memories consume you. A new time is what I'm writing. You will see why I had to close several chapters, since what lies before you is so much bigger, lighter, and more in line with your goal. You must have adored it. I am aware of your dedication. You put a lot of effort into making it function, I know. However, not everything that looks good belongs to me. And only those who bear my seal will be blessed. There is no halt in your story. It is being rebuilt. And letting go of the past is a component of that reconstruction. If you are attached to the past, you will not be able to live in the present. You cannot anticipate lightness in the future while carrying the burden of what has injured you. I'm phoning you today to tell you to let go. Let go. Give it up. What I have for you is fate, not a replacement. You still hold on to some items as though they were essential. Plans, people, and memories. However, it's not for me if none of this helps you heal. I don't send suffocating bonds. I don't construct on shaky ground. And I now need space for what I'm preparing. It is impossible to accept the new and cling to the old at the same time. You thought you had lost a lot. However, you'll come to see that what you lost was preventing you from going forward. You believed that I was quiet while everything went wrong, but I was in charge of every little thing. For me, it was alignment. For you, it was pandemonium. That's not what you'd comprehend. I consequently preferred to take action without providing an explanation. You will eventually be able to see clearly, though. Your emotions will continue to try to stop you. There will still be occasional moments of nostalgia. You will continue to think about the memory. However, you are not returning to the past. You're getting closer to the promised outcome. And it touches my heart when you decide to follow even when it hurts, because you are telling heaven, I trust in you. I'm telling you now, you're free. Free from the emotional constraints that kept you back. Free from the things that hindered your spiritual growth. Free to experience something fresh, complete, and real. But you have to stop looking back in order to achieve it. I didn't let you see who I was in order to trap you. I set you free to change you. If you're feeling moved by that term right now, add a comment like, I choose to leave the past to live God's new. Compose as a spiritual proclamation and an act of faith. Because you take a stand when you write. Positioning causes the sky to shift. And a decision is the first step in this movement. Don't keep what needs to be stated to yourself. Naming what you choose to let go of gives you power. Something shifts within you when you declare aloud or in writing that you are prepared to proceed. And this gesture is recognized in heaven. It's break day today. The day of liberation. Day of healing. Get started right away. You don't have to bear that burden any longer. I'm making the path clear. The past doesn't belong where I'm sending you. And you'll see that it was truly worthwhile to leave behind what had to be left behind because of how large, light, and aligned what I'm getting ready is. Breathe deeply. Let your heart be touched by this moment. The new one will arrive soon. The sky has already delivered what you were waiting for, even if your eyes haven't noticed it yet. What appeared to be stuck started to move. The seemed distant is drawing nearer. However, I need you to realize that you must prepare in order to live the new. It goes beyond simply receiving. The goal is to maintain. And it begins within of you. Change is what you've been praying for. It has been wailing for clarification. Been requesting a different thing. I also heard. But I'm relocating you before you deliver. Because it makes no sense to bestow gifts on someone who is still clinging to outdated ideas. The old mindset does not align with the new. Maturity, obedience, and sensitivity to my spirit are necessary for what I am bringing. As a result, I'm inviting you today to align your heart with what is ahead. Start behaving as though you've already won. Talk as though you've already been healed. Pray as though you've already been given it. Stroll with the assurance that something is going to occur. Because waiting is not what faith is all about. Faith is getting ready. Adjusting your life to fulfill the promise is what faith is all about. Making room for the benefit before you even realize its magnitude is what faith is. And that's precisely what I want to see in you right now, a believing mindset. Don't wait for the landscape to shift before taking action. First, change yourself. Modify your thoughts, responses, and body posture. Give up anxiety, dread, and doubt. They are not appropriate for the upcoming weather. Lightness is necessary for the new. Needs to be delivered. Complete confidence is necessary. I am currently activating that within you. What seems unattainable will become possible in the following 2 months. You must be prepared for that. Because later on there won't be time to get ready. It will happen quickly once it begins. Doors will open one after the other. People will approach you with connections and solutions. Unexpected opportunities will knock on your door. Additionally, you will need to be erect, with your spiritual eyes open and your heart in alignment. No longer doubt its veracity. Just get ready. Clean the interior of the house. Get your thoughts in order. Close the cycles. Reduce extra weight. You can't have certain things with you in this new era. It will be necessary to break some habits. Certain priorities will need to shift. And all of this is a part of the planning. Because I don't bestow favors on chaotic situations. I deliver ready, available, and on fertile soil. Your readiness is evidence of your faith. And I give credit to those who expect to prepare. Because they demonstrate their sincere belief. Who aren't merely waiting for the sake of it. However, they are lining up with the sky. Assuming a courageous stance. My heart is moved when I make the attitude-driven declaration, I know that God will fulfill it. If this message has reached you, please subscribe to this channel right away. It's not limited to video reception. It must continue to be prepared, fed, and strengthened. Because you are a part of the trip that is being constructed. Here, every word has a meaning. Additionally, you declare when you sign up, I want to continue walking this path with God. This channel offers guidance, hope, and healing. You don't have to walk alone anymore. I agree with you. And I'm encouraging others around you to serve as a daily reminder of that. It only takes a single click to sign up, but it signifies a choice to keep in touch with the blessings that heaven is bestowing upon you. Prepare yourself. Since things won't be the same as they were. It won't be a minor adjustment. There will be a total restart. Furthermore, you won't even be recognized by anyone who sees you. Because what I'm going to accomplish will be obvious, impactful, and visible. Your choice to align your heart with what is currently being released is the first step in the process. Breathe deeply. Let your heart be touched by this moment. The moment has arrived for things to begin to flow. What once appeared trapped, weighty, and repeated and needed tremendous effort will suddenly be light. Since I'm in the lead, you won't have to push doors anymore. I'll open each one myself, in front of the appropriate people, at the appropriate moment, and in the appropriate manner. The focus will shift from your effort to my leadership. It will now be done by guidance rather than coercion. You believed you had to prove yourself for a long time. He battled to get what he believed he needed, to be noticed, and to be accepted. I teach you to rest now, nevertheless. Because the impossible becomes normal when I'm in charge. A harvest emerges from what was previously a struggle. What was once perspiration turns into elegance. I do not want you to carry on with your burdens. I want you to be completely confident in your life. Not only will the new one I'm releasing have a different result. In the process, it will be different. Because you and I will now stroll together. Before you act, you'll learn to listen to my voice. You will be at peace before you move. You'll know when it's time to wait and when it's time to proceed. And everything will be different because of that. It will provide direction, clarity, and relief. I'm organizing everything. What was unclear will be clarified. Things that didn't seem important will start to make sense. You won't need to actively seek for the perfect relationships, they will come to you. You won't need to beg to get resources. Because provision exists when there is a purpose. And favor exists where obedience exists. When the heart is in alignment with me, I attend to every detail. When there is no peace, you will understand that you don't need to insist anymore. You don't have to remain in areas that are just worn out. Because I'm going to close doors that aren't in your path now. At the same time, I will reveal previously undiscovered routes. Routes leading to the core of my will. Paths that bring fullness, growth, lightness, and serenity. You'll lose the weight you've been carrying around in your chest. You will learn to live from the inside out, not because everything around you has changed. Must live according to my words rather than your emotions. Putting more faith in what I say than in your worries. And your soul will get lighter as a result of this. It will help your thoughts relax. Your body will become stronger as a result. You don't have to be in charge of everything anymore. It's no longer necessary to know every step before you walk. All you have to do is have faith that I have already moved forward. That the ground has already been prepared by me. That I've already made the necessary arrangements. And I promise the outcome as you walk in obedience. I fill in the gaps. I placed my hand out of your grasp. The days of fighting alone are past. The time for cooperation with heaven has come. It's time to follow the Spirit's wind. It's time to realize that everything starts to go smoothly when you align yourself with my will. It's not that difficulties won't arise. However, you won't be by yourself anymore. It won't be about getting by anymore. It'll be about living life to the fullest. I brought you here to demonstrate that life may be lived in a different way. A deeper, lighter way, closer to myself. Making the decision to cease fighting alone is the first step in that direction. Have faith that everything will work itself out if I am ahead. Everything will work itself out. Everything will take place precisely as it should. You don't have to address every problem right now anymore. You will now walk in a graceful rhythm. Furthermore, grace never fails, delays, or is lost. Where you couldn't travel alone, grace takes you. Where you are still weak, grace takes you. What was once a burden is transformed into a testimony by grace. Breathe deeply. Let your heart be touched by this moment. We haven't forgotten you. I witnessed everything. Every idea you were unable to put into words, every tear, every detail. In my view, nothing was missed. Not even the suffering you attempted to conceal. Not even the attempt you made to keep going when your inner voice told you that you were at your breaking point. When no one else noticed it, I did. When no one else was there, I was. It was only a phase, they said. It was over the top. That everything was in your mind. However, I was personally aware of the struggle you were engaged in within. I witnessed how hard it was to wake up each day with a sad heart, trying to smile even as my soul cried out for assistance. Still, you followed. You walked despite your lack of strength. You trusted even if you didn't understand. You believed me to be quiet. That I was unconcerned. In actuality, though, I was using my own hands to hold your faith while you were crying. I didn't assist you, so you didn't fall. I led you, so you didn't get lost. After everything you've been through, I'm here to remind you that I was always there. No one ever disregarded you. You were never abandoned. I value your tale greatly. My book has a detailed account of the chapters you have lived thus far. It was all for nothing. Not even the times you considered giving up. Not even when you prayed in private and weren't sure whether I was hearing you. He was. I was hearing all the unsaid words, all the suppressed cries, all the thoughts of suffering and hope. People can have made you feel forgotten. Maybe he didn't see anyone when he searched. However, I was there for you in the background of your suffering, the backstage of your waiting. And I was transforming you on the inside, even when it didn't look like anything had changed. Because I take care of what's inside of you before I change what's around you. You've matured. You've grown up. You discovered that trust transcends feelings. You are now prepared to fulfill my pledge. Time was not wasted waiting. It was time for construction. It was time to recover. It was time for the foundation. And all that I release into your life will be based on this. I want you to take stock of your progress and see how far you have come. How many battles did he prevail in? How many gloomy days have you already experienced? You're more powerful, more perceptive of my voice, greater faith. And the outcome of the journey we have taken together is this. You were never alone yourself. Every action was tracked. Every choice was aided. The moment has arrived to reap the benefits of the tears that were shed. There will be honor. It's a close response. There is a release of relief. And it will all be evident, undeniable, and forever. Because I do things that no one can take back. And I complete what I begin. The promise is intact. And I still have plans for you. If you were particularly moved by that word, leave a remark now that reads, I know that God saw me. Compose with faith. Make a heartfelt declaration. This reply is a spiritual stance rather than merely a response. You unite yourself with the truth of heaven when you proclaim that you have been seen. And every falsehood the enemy tries to tell you to make you feel alone is debunked by this fact. Someone has seen you. It was adored. It was resolved. It will now be respected. For the period of suffering was not over. It was the planning. In reality, what appeared to be oblivion was a level of concentration so great that even quiet was taken seriously. And this attention will bear fruit. Enjoy. As a tangible demonstration of my faithfulness. Breathe deeply. Let your heart be touched by this moment. I have already written about you, don't question it. Even though time appears to drag on forever, even though your emotions are erratic, and even though everything around you shouts otherwise, I still stand by what I stated. I am neither a guy to make false promises nor a son of man to break them. It's done if I stated it. It's sealed if I wrote it. Furthermore, nothing you have gone through thus far has been sufficient to negate what lies ahead. Thoughts of doubt have assaulted you. The adversary murmurs that too much time has gone by, that you have changed, and that you lost the chance. However, that is untrue. The promise is independent of its terms. It is contingent upon my faithfulness. Furthermore, I remain faithful. I finish what I started. I accomplish what I planned. Furthermore, nothing can thwart my intentions for your life. I am aware that waiting was exhausting. I am aware that the delay caused you to wonder if you heard it correctly. However, I'm here to confirm that you heard correctly. You were speaking with me. The voice you heard was myself. My spirit was the one who validated you. And I came to rekindle it today, despite the fact that time has attempted to erase it. The fire is still going strong. And I still stand by what I said. What is about to happen has not been rendered invalid by the passage of time. Conversely, it made you stronger. Polished you. Refined you. Only because I let you go through certain delays did some parts of you mature. And there was no delay in any of this. Alignment was the cause. Because the promise appears as an answer, not as a diversion, when the heart is prepared. And you're almost done with your heart. Don't allow nervousness to overshadow the fervent preparation. On the brink of promise, don't let fear stop you. You're too near to retreat. I'm finishing up the remaining details, which is why I haven't released it yet. Because it will be finished when it gets there. It will be flawless. It will surpass your expectations. And then you'll see why it took so long. The most subtle weapon the opposition can use to deflect is doubt. He is aware that he will lose his consistency if he is able to undermine his faith. He's trying to tell you that I forgot because of this. However, you must keep in mind that all promises are enduring. And the survivors reap. The fulfillment is visible to those who hold upon their faith, even if they do it in silence. Now I want you to examine yourself. And observe how far we've come already. Look at how far you've come already. You have changed since embarking on this adventure. You have a stronger faith, a more resilient spirit, and a greater sensitivity to my voice. And waiting is the cause of all of this. Result of the procedure. The result of trust. I'll still take you by surprise. I will continue to open doors that you believed would never open again. I'll still take you to places you never would have imagined. Because whatever label they attempted to apply to what I said about you is insignificant. It's more significant than any prior error. It transcends all situations. It is also eternal. Heaven has sealed it. Enjoy this video now if that word resonated with you. As an act of faith, not merely a show of support. As though to declare, I still believe. As though to say, the promise still lives in me. This small gesture indicates that you are still waiting with an open heart and is a silent response to heaven. Your faith causes the heavens to move. Full of conviction, but with little gestures. And I'd like to ask you to keep going today. Continue to believe. Continue to walk. Keep in mind what I've said so far. Because no one can remove what has been written about you. You are a component in a larger scheme. And that plan is in motion. Everything will start to become clear soon. And you'll look back on this day as the day you made the decision to believe once more. Breathe deeply. Let your heart be touched by this moment. Inhale deeply. This is only the start of something truly remarkable. You came here for a reason. You were prepared for this moment by every second of this adventure. Something has already begun to shift on the inside, despite the exterior appearing to be the same. Your soul is breathing a new breath, a new hope is growing in your heart, and your spirit is becoming more sensitive. And I'm behaving, as seen by this. That a new era is beginning and that the previous cycle is coming to an end. The moment I moved you was actually the point that appeared to be the end. During challenging times, you felt as though nothing made sense. Where everything didn't seem to belong. There was a great deal of silence and it seemed like the losses outweighed the gains. But I was there, protecting, loving, and working quietly even in this gloomy area. Every fragment of you that was fractured went through my hands. Every piece that broke apart was meticulously gathered. And today, with a much higher goal, all of this is being rebuilt. I didn't bring you here merely to make you feel better. I came to you to help you rediscover who you are, rekindle your vision, and awaken a new purpose. From now on, the focus will be on destiny as much as healing. You have been repositioned to have an impact, you have been healed to live, and you have been restored to fulfill. Once again, nothing will be the same. Furthermore, this new one won't be forced upon anyone. It will happen. Since you've already been ready to accept it. You still don't see many things clearly. And that's all right. Even if you don't have all the answers, you can still walk with the faith you have today. To follow, you don't have to see the entire plan. All you have to know is that I am leading the way at every turn. I am, too. You will be taken aback by indications that the stars are working in your favor every morning. You will become increasingly aware that you are not speaking to nothing when you pray. I pay attention. I answer. I take action. Gradually, you'll realize that the lightness is coming back. That turbulence is giving way to tranquility. That once weak hope is becoming stronger inside of you. The fresh flowering is this. The amazing that I promised is just getting started. Additionally, they will no longer carry the same weight, even though there are still difficult days ahead. Since you are now aware of your companion, you now recall that you are backed by an unfailing guarantee. Avoid comparing yourself to other people. Don't hurry things along. It would be unfair to impose any human expectations on what is about to happen because it is so unique, personal, and yours. I made something that was specially molded. And everything will make sense when the moment is perfect. When you look back, you'll say, it was worth it. It was God. It was necessary. Don't be scared of what comes next. Before I open the doors, do not hesitate. They will be accompanied by confirmation. Peace will accompany them. They will have my signature on them. And you'll be able to tell when to cross them. Because everything in your immediate vicinity will attest to the fact that the time has arrived. You won't be perplexed. You won't be tricked. It's obvious what's mine. And I see a project through to completion. The number of times you doubted your ability to succeed is irrelevant. If the process took longer than you anticipated, it makes no difference. The fact that you have come this far is what counts. And where you are right now is not the end. This is the restart. A fresh season's breath. The unseen twist that makes all the difference. The spiritual turning point of a productive period. Despite being tried, you persisted. It was not lost, but it was broken. Despite being discredited, he maintained his faith. Therefore, heaven now bestows fulfillment on you. The response. The revitalization. The change. When faith is established, everything starts to grow. Everything that was cried over starts to come to life. Everything that appeared to have been forgotten starts to come together wonderfully. Breathe deeply. Let your heart be touched by this moment.